What's up, everybody? It's Eli here from TreeFall Studios, bringing you a brand new commentary. We haven't had a commentary video come out in the last few months. That's because mainly we had some mic issues. And if you notice a difference in the audio quality, it's because we had to buy a cheaper microphone just so we can get some videos out here for you guys. I don't think it's going to be that much difference, but we're going to work on trying to fix our other one so we can beef up the audio quality for you once again. We're here to talk about Annihilation today. It has gone through a lot of changes, and there's been a lot of new effects and new features added to this game since we first shown it. This is going to be our final Wii U game. This is our love letter to our Wii U fans and how we got our start. We're in a transitionary period right now. We're trying to find new systems and new places to launch our games so we can stay in business. We're going to look at the Xbox and the PlayStation 4. And in the future, whenever Nintendo decides that we're allowed to work with the Switch, we'll take a look at that as well. We might even attempt the 3DS at some point, but its lifespan is probably ending soon, so there's no guarantee that we'll check that out. So you can see the title screen has been changed a little bit. You can see there's perfect scores now on the right-hand side, and also the menu icons. They have a sweet little animation here. They rotate back and forth. We're not going to show a whole lot. We're just going to show a little bit about how the game works and some of the new features and new abilities. So we're going to pop into stage 1 here. Actually, before we do that, I'm just going to mention that multiplayer is the only thing in this game that we have not finished yet. So the game is almost done. It's going to be coming to your Wii U pretty soon. And then maybe to other consoles later, and then Pitterpot and our future titles will be going to other consoles. The multiplayer is going to be 2 to 4 player, couch co-op, like a horde mode type thing, kind of like the stages in the game. Stages 1 through 3 are your main game. You're focused on getting high scores and perfect scores. So stage 1, we'll load into here real quick. As you can see, the HUD has changed a lot since that little teaser, 20-second teaser video we showed. Over here on the right, you can see that there's these green health blocks right here. This is your base health. Each time an enemy goes by you and you lose an enemy, one of them will explode. And when you reach to none, that was interesting. When you reach 0 health, your base will explode, and the game is over. You run straight to the high scores. You get to see your current score, and then you get to see your high score. I'll let one of the enemies go by so you can see it explode, because it's a cute little animation over there. Above the base health, you can see that you have the X and Y buttons up here, and you can switch between them. One is regular ammo like this, and then one is special ammo, and you shoot laser beams. The laser beams actually bust into new laser beams if you want to check it out. And then they shoot off in each direction. If you have a buff on, you can actually shoot laser beams in 3 different directions, which is pretty cool. So you can see as I'm killing enemies, I'm making money. And then when you pause the game, you unlock the shop. So the shop is where you buy items. You can buy an auto turret, an upgraded auto turret, a spike strip, an upgraded spike strip, an additional pistol, or special ammo. All of these things stack with the buff system that we already have going on. So if you don't know about the buff system in this game, each level has a different enemy threshold. And as you kill enemies, you'll unlock a random buff each time. You can either get double damage, double speed, or double armor. Each of those will help you throughout the game. They're randomly selected, so every time you play the game, every time you kill the enemies, you'll get a different selection of buffs. Also, the enemies, each round is programmed with the same amount of enemies, and for balance and for high score purposes, but they're randomized, so you could play the game every time and you don't know where they're going to come from, basically. So that gives you a little bit of element of replay value, but it's still balanced to where it's fair for the scores. So you can check out the pause menu here. And you can see that there's a couple different ways about going about this game. You can spend all of your money on special ammo and just try to take them out using the perks that you get with the laser bullets. You could just save all of your money and try to get an additional pistol so you can deal double damage. Or you could buy all auto turrets or spike strips in the event where you want to try to boost up your defense and you think that you can do it without the extra pistol. Depending on your player style, any option will be good, and there's a couple of different ways you can go about these levels. So you can check it out. I have $1,055 right now. That's on the dev mode. You start off with 1,000. When you start the level, you're going to have 0. So you get money by killing enemies. I'll let this one guy right here in the middle go by so you can see the animation on the side. It's pretty cool. So if I ran into him right now, I would lose player health, but since I let him go by, I lost base health, which exploded over there on the right. And then you can see on the left of the HUD up here, we have the items. So like, all right, I'll buy an auto turret to show you. You can see that it shows you your counts of auto turrets and your spike strip counts, all your items over there on the left, and it tells you how to place them. I'll go ahead and buy an upgraded spike strip to show you that as well, and I'll buy a couple packs of special ammo. So say I want to build the auto turret, you just press up and it automatically builds it for you. In the lower rounds of the game, which you couldn't afford this anyways, it doesn't really do all that much, but when you have hundreds of enemies coming down the screen, these actually help out a ton. And you can see the cool effects on the auto turret. It has a little animation, and then whenever it starts to go old and it's about to break, it starts smoking. When it's done, it grays itself out, waits a second, and then it explodes, which is pretty cool. You can see that the let me put down the spike strip for you guys. Enemies run into it and then they explode. It kills every type of enemy, and it goes all the way across, protecting all of your sides. The upgraded spike strip can take out 4 enemies per spike. And then the regular spike strip can take out 2 enemies per spike, and then they break. So an auto turret, depending on how you want to go about your items, the auto turrets will kill more enemies for you, but they will only kill them in one place. So the spike strips are more if you want to defend your entire base. Pretty good if you're slower at the moment, but you know, if you got double speed up and you got double damage, you might place a couple auto turrets out and then go protect half of the screen or whatever. It's all up to you on how you want to play. But the game, as you can see, the first stage, the rounds start off pretty slow, and then you start seeing a lot more enemies start flying down. We got a bunch coming right now, and then after that you start unlocking new enemies start coming. It's pretty cool. Each stage, the first stage has about 4 enemies, which we've shown before, and mostly I wanted to talk about how the enemies have changed. Mostly the first stage, the enemies all differ based on speed, looks, and how much health they have. But once you break into stage 2 and 3, you start seeing new enemies that have abilities. Like some enemies you shoot, they pop out new enemies, or some of them travel in different directions. Some of them have other perks as well. I don't want to spoil too much of it. I want to talk about them, but we added a lot of cool enemies. We'll show a few of them in the trailer, but probably hide a few just so there's a little bit of surprise. In stage 3, the enemies there's some really special enemies because that's the final stage. And then stage 2 is pretty sweet as well. So I'll back out right here. So that's a little bit how this game plays. You can see, I'll let you see just a sneak peek of stage 2, which we've shown in some like teaser trailer videos, but we haven't really talked about how this changes the gameplay. As you can see, there's a river here, and it's animating right through the middle. I'll let one of these enemies come down and get in the river so you can see how this changes the gameplay. When the enemy hits the river, they slow down and then they start splashing through the water. So you can let enemies, this stage has harder enemies and more enemies coming down, but they kind of bunch up at the river, so you have like a second of leeway to like take them out of the river. But if you let them get past the river, it's going to be hard pressed to stop them before they get into your base and start destroying your health. So different. Each stage has a little bit of a different mechanic like that. The third stage actually has two rivers, and it has a system of bridges. So certain enemies will be coming faster over the bridges. Some of them will be stuck in the water, and then vice versa. When they hit the second river, some of them will be stuck in the water, some will be crossing their bridges. And it's very chaotic. And some of the enemies are coming horizontal across the screen at that point, and also vertical. So it's pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed this quick look at Annihilation. There's a lot more to it than there used to be. The stages are replayable. There's a bit of randomness to it, and to play for high scores, it takes a bit to really try to get a perfect score. We balance the difficulty pretty hard, and for example, I think it takes me about 15 minutes just to play through all the rounds on stage 1. So, like, if you could just get through it one time, it's about that much of gameplay. Stages 2 and 3 are around the same and or longer, I believe. And then you know to replay them over and over for high scores, and just because it's pretty fun, you get quite a few hours of gameplay out of this game. I mean, I've spent like testing just hours and hours playing and didn't really get bored. So we really hope you're looking forward to Annihilation. It's going to be launching on the Wii U. You can play it on the gamepad, and we're going to make the multiplayer playable with Wii remotes, turning the Wii remote sideways. So we hope as many people will be able to play it as they can. We hope you're really looking forward to it. Thanks for checking out this commentary. It's been a while since we've done one of these. We have a lot more to show. We might do a few more Annihilation commentaries on the multiplayer. Probably going to show off Stage 3 before the game comes out. We're going to be showing some pitter-pot commentaries. We're going to be posting a few videos talking about which systems we're going to be planning on releasing on, different things like that. Some incentives for Patreon pledgers. We're really going to be amping it up soon over the summer all the way through E3. So we really hope you enjoyed this TreeFall content today. Have a great night.